Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about to kick off this next Accountex Demo Day session. Lots of you joining us this afternoon. Thank you for sticking with us, for those that have been staying tuned since first thing this morning. We've had a jam-packed last couple of days for our Accountex Demo Days. Lots of you joining. We're going to be kicking off this session in just about 30 seconds time. I'm just waiting for those numbers to go up. This has been a very popular session, which we're delighted to bring to you today. And we're just about to kick off in about 10 seconds time. Lots of you joining us. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rachel from Accountex, and it is my honour to be your host this afternoon for this next Accountex Demo Day session. Before I introduce our next speaker, I just have a bit of housekeeping to run through with you all. All of our sessions are being recorded. Don't worry if you've missed out on any content over the last few days. And you can watch all of our sessions on our website, www.accountex.co.uk. Head to webinars and you'll be able to watch all of the content that we've had over the last few days, including this session. The Q&A feature is enabled on your toolbar. If you have any questions for our speaker at all, please pop them in the Q&A feature box, and we will try to do our best to answer all your questions. And then now, without further ado, a massive thank you to AutoEntry for sponsoring this session. And I'm now going to pass over to Matthew, who's going to be talking about introducing incredible efficiencies with AutoEntry. Over to you, Matthew.
Amazing. Appreciate it, Rachel, and thank you very much. First of all, welcome, guys. My name's Matt. I'm one of the senior customer success managers here at AutoEntry. And what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the various different aspects of AutoEntry and also do a full run through of the product and give you guys an opportunity to answer any questions that you may have at the end. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into the presentation part of all this webinar. And then what we'll do is we will go straight into our product demonstration. So just to give you a bit of an introduction, AutoEntry is a cloud-based product that aims to automate a lot of admin processes on a day-to-day basis. What it does is it extracts information from uploaded documents and converts them into a format where they can be coded, categorized, and then seamlessly published directly to your accounting software. So first of all, drivers of business confidence in 2023. So first of all, by digitizing, systemizing, and automating, you can work less while actually improving the efficiency and client value of your services. So time savings, which translate into increases in revenue. More time means you can grow your business, more clients, improve services, or maybe you just want to aim for improved work-life balance. If we can delight clients with the use of technology and the efficiencies it brings, then we're locking them in for the future. One of the ways in which we can retain clients is by powering and improving the research that's used, the technology that we use within AutoEntry itself. Finally, all this leads directly to competitive advantages. It's competitive out there, in the world of accounting and bookkeeping, it is a competitive environment. You need to grasp every advantage you can. And again, technology has always provided that, and you can also be improving the automation throughout your day-to-day running of your business. So technology provides efficiencies. So accountants have always turned to technology to improve their efficiencies. Every decade has introduced some game-changing technology that has not only created efficiencies, but also brings with it competitive advantages. The point is that there's since the early 20th century, with Curta calculator technology, has always been empowering accountants. You could even say that the slide rule was the first accounting technology, and apps like AutoEntry are proud to be part of this tradition. We can distill the essence of empowerment down to one thing: automation. Spreadsheets are invaluable to accountant bookkeepers' businesses. Rather than us adding every column of numbers, it did it automatically. If we change the number, the output automatically changed too. So the gift of automation. By digitizing, systemizing, you can work less while actually improving your client value and service. So, sorry guys, efficiency gains. So you can automate what was once manual, which is always better for the improvement in the running of the business. Collect, communicate lots of data and in real time. You can optimize operations and processes for both yourself and your clients. Therefore, this gives you more time back. You can improve profitability. You can gain a better work-life balance, better client conversations, and growth opportunities will come flooding through the door. And you're also future-proofing your practice. So why AutoEntry? First of all, save up to 9% of the processing times compared to manually entering receipts, invoices, statements with up to 99% accuracy. So you can completely automate your client data flow. There's no contract, so it's fair and transparent. There's no hidden fees. It's based on a monthly subscription that simply depends on how many credits you use. So the credit package that you would subscribe to really depends on how many documents you look to upload and process on a monthly basis to your accounting software. It also integrates seamlessly with Sage, Xero, and QuickBooks and all of the top accounting software. And lastly, better client conversations. So less time getting to the trial balance, more time sharing your knowledge and insights with those clients. And then finally, expand your service offerings through advisory. So recently we've introduced a brand new look to AutoEntry. It's more user-friendly and brings a brighter image to the product itself. We also have introduced this to our mobile app, which can seamlessly automate and help you effortlessly process your documents to your online web account of AutoEntry. We do have 3 specific methods in which we can upload our documents, either via the folder specific email, the mobile app, or the drag and drop function within the system as well. You can also create expense reports on the mobile and desktop service. The app also allows you to edit or split any expenses on the go. And also, what we can now do is look into how AutoEntry works. So as I said, AutoEntry is a cloud-based software. Once your documents have been received by your clients, you can seamlessly upload them using one of the 3 upload methods. Once you've uploaded your documents, AutoEntry will then extract the data, which can then be categorized, published, and then seamlessly filtered across to your accounting software. Okay, so that was just a quick overview of AutoEntry itself. What I'm now going to do is just switch my screen to the product. So if you bear me 30 seconds, guys. Perfect. Okay, so this is our main AutoEntry home screen. So once you've logged into your account, what you'll have is a list of companies or a company that you have created within the system itself. So in relation to creating a company, very quick and easy to do. It's just a case of clicking Add Company at the top right-hand corner. Once you've clicked Add Company, AutoEntry will then ask you to populate some specific piece of information. So it'll ask you for the date, the default currency. You can also edit the email addresses that are specific to your folder as well. So once the company has been created, it'll populate into the list like so. So as you can see, I have 4 companies on my main homepage, 3 of which have been integrated with a specific accounting package, and the company at the very bottom has yet to be integrated. So as I say, once the company has been created, the next step is then integrating it with your accounting software. So in order to do so, we simply need to click into the company. And as you can see, we have our main 6 folders. We then need to click Integrate, and we have a selection or a list of accounting packages in which AutoEntry Direct connects to. So it's really quick and easy to integrate with an accounting package, just a case of clicking Connect, following the on-screen instructions, and AutoEntry will walk you through step by step in order to connect to that accounting package. So the specific reasons as to why we connect to an accounting software, First of all is to send our documents once they have been categorized and published, but also we transfer across information from your accounting software to your AutoEntry account. So those specific pieces of information are all of your supplier and customer accounts, your nominal codes, and all of your VAT code as well. So we then use this data to simply process and code those documents once they've been uploaded. Okay, so what we're going to do now is look at the folders within our AutoEntry account. So as I mentioned at the start, we have the capability of uploading and processing various different documents. We can upload purchase and sales invoices. We can carry out supply statement reconciliations. We can create expense reports, which can then be submitted for approval. And then finally, we can extract the individual transactions on bank statements. So if I click into my company, as you can see, we have the 6 folders. And also we have the file management folder as well, which essentially acts as an additional storage space, but it's also where our documents are stored when using the document fetching feature. On the left-hand side, we have the People tab, which allows us to add additional users. We have our Activity tab, which will give you a full overview of any activity within the account, whether it be uploading documents or whether it be publishing or processing. Our Settings, whereby we can adjust the settings for specific companies, such as the email addresses that are for the folders, any VAT details, which we'll need to edit within our account. Apologies, this isn't working. I'd say in the settings, we also have the option to adjust our VAT details and any other settings that may be required to be adjusted. As well, we have our profile. So this is our company profile where we can change the business name. But other than that, what we'll do, we'll jump straight into our purchases. So as I said, we have the ability to upload and process purchase invoices. With regards to uploading our invoices, we have 3 specific methods. These can all be viewed using the upload document button and then selecting our purchases folder. Once you've selected your purchase folder, it'll then bring you to the main upload screen. So as I said, we have 3 specific methods. The first method to upload a purchase invoice is using the folder specific email address. So if you receive a lot of invoices via email, you can forward them directly to your purchase folder email address. AutoEntry will extract the information and place those invoices in your inbox ready for coding and processing. Second method is within the main upload screen using the drag and drop function. And last but not least, we also can upload via the mobile app. So the mobile app simply allows you to take a picture of an invoice, send it to your online account of AutoEntry, where you can then begin processing and publishing those documents. Within AutoEntry as well, we also have the ability to capture individual line items. So this is done at the point of upload, simply by ticking the box and using the drag and drop function. Once uploaded, AutoEntry will capture and extract each individual line item on that invoice, which can then be coded and categorized to various different nominal codes and VAT codes. Once the invoice has then been uploaded, it will then seamlessly start filtering across to your inbox. So once you've clicked into your inbox, you'll have 2 main views available. So we can view the inbox within this main screen here, where we can see a list of our invoices, or we can click into an invoice using the view icon, which will then provide us a full breakdown of all the data that has been captured, as well as an image of the invoice on the right-hand side. So this is where we start beginning to code and publish our invoices. So as you can see, AutoEntry has captured the supplier name, the date, the due date, the invoice number, and the net VAT and total figures. So what we then need to do is first of all select our supplier account from the drop-down menu. We then need to select our nominal code, and then finally select the VAT code. Once you've selected from each 3 of those drop-down menus, AutoEntry will ask you if you want to remember these specific details. So if I click Remember Yes, what AutoEntry will then do, for this particular supplier, any future invoice that is uploaded, it will automatically pre-allocate the category and the VAT code for me, essentially saving you time from manually having to enter that data over and over again. As I said, once you have selected from the 3 drop-down menus, the Publish and Next button at the very bottom of the screen will go green. This is AutoEntry notifying you that this invoice has been published, has been categorized correctly, and that's ready to be sent across to your accounting software. So it's simply just a case of clicking Publish and Next. AutoEntry will then begin transferring this data across to your accounting package. It's also important to note that any invoice that you do send directly from AutoEntry to your accounting software, we will include an image of the invoice once it has been published across. Another great feature that we have within our main invoice view is that we can jump into our supplier settings. So within our supplier settings, we can set up specific permissions for a particular supplier. For example, we can tell AutoEntry to remember specific VAT codes and categories if we want to preset these prior to uploading documents. We can also set default due dates, default pay dates as well. We also have the option to turn on the capture line item within the supplier itself. Therefore, any invoice that is uploaded from that particular supplier, AutoEntry will automatically capture those individual line items for us. And at the very bottom, we can also view our remember VAT codes and categories if needed. Okay, so if I jump back into our main inbox screen, it's also good to mention that we can categorize and publish our invoices directly within the main inbox view. Again, just a case of selecting our supplier account, nominal code, and VAT code from the drop-down menu, and then clicking the publish icon on the left-hand side. For clarification as to whether an invoice has been published to your accounting software, once it has been published and received in your accounting package, you'll receive the green circle with the white tick, and your accounting name icon will be displayed just underneath. Okay, moving on to cover the remainder of our purchases folder. The activity tab will provide you with a full audit trail of any uploaded and processed items. Our archive folder is essentially an online storage space for all of your published invoices. So any invoices that you have published directly across to your accounting software will be readily available and readily viewed within our archive folder as well. The rejected tab is for any invoices that do not meet the 3 verification checks. So at the point of upload and the point of processing, AutoEntry carries out 3 checks. So first of all, it will ensure that the document that you have loaded is a genuine invoice. Secondly, it will verify all the figures within the invoice. And then third and finally, it will ensure that there are no duplicate invoices in your AutoEntry account or in your accounting software. So for any reason that the document or documents you've uploaded to your purchase invoices folder do not meet those 3 verification checks, AutoEntry will place it in your rejected folder, and you'll also be notified as to why it's been rejected as well. If for any reason you do want to move a rejected item to your inbox, it's just a case of clicking Move to Inbox, where you can then categorize and publish that document to your accounting package. And last but not least, the People tab. As I said towards the start of this demonstration, this is where we can add additional users. So if you are looking to share the workload, you can add an additional user simply by entering the new user's email address. They will then receive an email asking them to enter and create a password. But also the main billing user of the account will also be able to set and restrict specific user permissions within AutoEntry as well. Okay, moving on, we have our sales folder. So the sales folder works exactly the same way as our purchases. The only difference between the 2 folders is that we have a folder-specific email address for our sales folder. And also, when we are coding the invoices, we have to select a customer account rather than a supplier account. Other than that, the way we code the invoices, the way we publish them directly to our accounting software is exactly the same as the purchases. Okay, next we have supplier statements. So with regards to supplier statements within AutoEntry, it's a really good tool to check what invoices you have or haven't uploaded for a particular supplier. So with regards to uploading a supplier statement, again, we need to click the upload button on the top right-hand corner. We then need to select supplier statements from the drop-down menu, where we're then provided with 2 specific methods in which we can upload a supplier statement. So first of all, we have the folder-specific email address, and we also have the drag and drop function as well. So once the supply statement has been uploaded, it will then populate into your inbox. We then need to select this supplier from the drop-down menu. Once you have selected the supplier, AutoEntry will then automatically carry out supply statement reconciliation. So it's going to check what invoices you have in your AutoEntry account. So a good thing to remember is we are only solely checking what invoices you have uploaded to AutoEntry. We're not checking what is in your accounting software. So if AutoEntry has located all of the invoices within our AutoEntry account, on the right-hand side under the status, it will show as reconciled. However, as you can see, this statement is currently showing as unreconciled. So that way we know the specific invoices that are currently missing. So in order to view the invoices that are missing, we can click the View tab. We can then click the Reconciliation tab at the very top, where AutoEntry will then show you what invoices have been matched by showing you the matched icon in the middle. And we can also see the invoices that are currently missing. So with any missing invoice, we then have three options. We can either create a new invoice, so we can create a new basic standalone invoice within our AutoEntry account. We can ignore the invoice, or finally, we can find a match. So we can change specific search parameters within AutoEntry to try and locate that missing invoice. Okay, so that is our supply statements. Moving on, we have bank statements. So again, as I mentioned at the start, what AutoEntry does with the bank statements is it will automatically extract those individual bank transactions from the statement itself. We can also upload credit card statements to AutoEntry as well. In order to get them into your account, again, we click the Upload Document button. We then need to select the Bank Statements module from the drop-down menu. As you can see, we have the drag and drop function. So a good thing to bear in mind is that we only have one method of uploading a bank statement within our AutoEntry account. Great feature that we do have in relation to uploading a bank statement is that you will hugely benefit in relation to time saving if you're uploading ePDFs of bank statements. So again, a really good thing to remember. However, once your bank statement has then been uploaded, again, we click into our inbox, where we have a full list of all the bank statements that have been uploaded to our folder. We simply then need to click View, whereby AutoEntry will then provide us with a full breakdown of all of the individual transactions that have been captured from the bank statement on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side of the page, we have a copy of the original bank statement as well. So with regards to transferring these transactions to your accounting software, we essentially have two options. So the first option is exporting directly to your accounting package. Again, this is specifically dependent on the accounting package you're currently using. But what we can do is you can click Export. AutoEntry will then allow you to export these transactions directly to your accounting software. If AutoEntry doesn't have the feature that connects directly to your accounting package, we can always download to a pre-formatted CSV file. So if you're looking to download your transactions to a CSV file, it's just a case of clicking download. You then select the file type, which is specific to your accounting software. We then click download. AutoEntry will then create a new Excel spreadsheet, which is specific to your accounting package, which you can then import into your accounting software. And then last but not least, guys, we have our expense reports. So with the expense reports, there's essentially two entities involved when processing expenses within AutoEntry. First of all, we have the submitter, so the person physically submitting and uploading those expenses to AutoEntry. And then we have the approver, so the person approving the expenses once they have been submitted. So with regards to uploading an expense or expenses to AutoEntry, again, we click our Upload Document button. We then click Expenses from the drop-down menu, where we're then provided with three methods. So similar to the purchase invoices folder and the supply statements, we have the expenses specific folder email address. We also have the drag and drop function, and we can also use the free mobile app. So when you're uploading an expense, the submitter will need to upload those directly into AutoEntry. They will then need to log into AutoEntry itself. click into the expenses folder, whereby they will have a full list of all the expenses that have been uploaded and need to be submitted for approval. So the first port of call is coding each individual expense to an expense category. So we do this just by working down and selecting from the drop-down menus. Once each individual expense has been categorized, we then need to allocate it to a report. So we can seamlessly and easily create new reports just by clicking the Add Report icon. Once the report has been created, you just need to work your way down each individual expense, selecting the reports you want to allocate it to. Once each individual expense has been allocated, we then click into the Reports tab, whereby then we need to select the expense report we're looking to submit for approval. We do this by clicking View. We can make any additional changes if needed prior to submitting this expense report for approval. So again, if we selected the incorrect category, we can always change this within this main view, and we can also change and add it to a different report if needed. However, once the submitter is happy, they then click Submit, select the approver from the drop-down menu, and then click Submit Report. So once the report has then been submitted, the approver will receive a notification whereby they will be required to click into the Review tab within AutoEntry itself. Once in the Review tab, they will be able to view any expense reports that are currently pending. So they just then need to click View. They will then be provided with a full breakdown of the expenses that have been submitted for approval. They can make any final adjustments if needed, for example, if the category has been selected incorrectly. However, once they're happy, they can either approve or reject. So if the report is rejected, AutoEntry will reject the report and place it in your rejected folder. However, if it's approved, AutoEntry will approve the report, and it will also create a new purchase invoice expense report within your purchases folder. So the next step, once it's been approved, is then click back into your purchase invoices folder, click into the inbox, whereby we can then click the expense report. And as you'll see on the left-hand side, we have a full breakdown of the expense or the expenses that have been submitted. They will be listed as a line item. And then on the right-hand side, we will have a copy of the expense report, as well as any receipts that have been attached as well. Again, similar to the purchase invoices, any receipts that have been submitted within your expense report will be published directly across your accounting software as well. Okay, guys, so that is the 5 main folders within our AutoEntry account. As I said at the very start, we do have the file management folder. So this essentially acts as a miscellaneous storage space, but also it is where our invoices that are fetched using the document fetching feature. So with regards to document fetching, it's a really good tool to essentially completely automate your purchase invoice or supplier invoice retrieval process. So in order to set up the document fetching, we first of all just need to click into the Integrate tab. We then need to click into Other Integrations and then open the document fetching function. What I can then do is click Add Supplier. I can then specifically search for a supplier. And what I can then do is connect direct to the supplier account. So if you are looking to set this feature up for a specific client, what you can do is you can share a link with them. This will then enable them to enter their login details and establish the connection themselves. So once the connection has been set up and established, AutoEntry will then, on a daily basis, scrape that supplier account for any active or up-to-date invoice. If it has located an invoice, what it will do is it will place it in your root folder. We then select the document fetching file. We then click into suppliers. We then select the supplier account that we've connected to, the email address associated, And as you can see, we have an invoice that has been fetched. So the next step is simply just submitting this directly to your purchase invoices folder. Once it has been submitted, we then just go through the same process as categorizing and publishing that purchase invoice or that supplier invoice directly to your accounting software. And last but not least, guys, with regards to help and support within AutoEntry, we do have a dedicated in-product support team that are live agents. So they can all be contacted within your account itself. It's just a case of clicking on the green speech bubble at the bottom right-hand corner. So if you are into any issues or you do have any questions, our support team are on hand to give you a hand. But also we have a dedicated help center as well. So in order to access the help center, just a case of clicking the help icon at the bottom left-hand corner. Within the help center, we have various different articles as well as on-demand training videos to help you make your journey through AutoEntry seamless and as useful as possible. Okay, so I'm just going to jump back to my PowerPoint presentation screen, guys. So if you just bear me 30 seconds. Perfect. Okay, guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the Q&A. So please feel free to ask any questions or if you have any concerns, and I'll answer them as we go.
Hi, Matt. There's quite a few questions in the Q&A. Would you like me to start running through some for you?
Yep, that'd be perfect.
Amazing. Fantastic session so far. Lots of engagement. So the first question is, what's the difference between AutoEntry and DEX?
So the main difference is with regard to AutoEntry DEX is, first of all, the accuracy in which we can extract the data. So as I mentioned at the very start, we have a 99% accuracy with the data extracted. I believe that our user interface is a lot more friendly. It's a lot more easy to use, and that we do offer far more integrations with specific accounting products.
Amazing. Thanks, Matt. Next question is, will the fast mode functions in the app be coming back shortly? Is there a time frame?
Unfortunately, that's not a question I can answer. I do believe it has been requested several times, but again, if it's a case where I can contact our development team, I'm more than happy to get back in touch with the particular attendee and give them a more in-depth answer once I have the information to hand.
Amazing. And these Q&A questions will be shared with you, Matt, after this session, so you'll be able to come back on that. And then we have another question. Does AutoEntry use AI to process the invoice, or is there a manual element of processing from your side before it reaches the inbox or when publishing?
Yeah, it's a really good question. In fact, AutoEntry uses two particular methods. So we have an AI or a software-based facility where we verify and check all of the information and figures that have been uploaded, but it's also checked by a human as well. So we essentially have two methods to look at the information that has been captured and ensure that is correct prior to making it available within our AutoEntry software.
Amazing. Thanks, Matt. And next question, how long does it take for an invoice or expense to reach the inbox after sending? Great question.
Yeah, really good question. So with regards to uploading documents, we do allow for up to 2 hours. The best way to use AutoEntry is essentially you upload all of your documents to the AutoEntry platform. You go away, go about your business, doing any other prioritized duties that you need to do throughout the day. Come back an hour or two later, and then process those documents to your accounting software. As I said, we do allow for up to 2 hours, but usually documents, once they've been uploaded, for example, purchase invoices, sales invoices, they are readily available to be categorized and published within the first 30 minutes.
Amazing, that's fantastic. And next question, does AutoEntry capture line items for inventory accounting?
It does indeed. So we do have the option to capture individual line items. So when you're uploading your invoices, you can use the drag and drop method. What you'll see is a feature that says capture line items on the invoice. So you just simply tick a box, upload your document, and AutoEntry will capture those line items on that particular invoice, which can then be categorized and published to your accounting software. Also, we did run through the supplier settings. So the capture line item function can be turned on for specific suppliers if you know that supplier is going to be, the line items for that supplier are going to be needed to be captured on a regular basis.
Amazing. Next question is, how does invoicing in different currencies work?
Yeah, again, really good question. So once you click onto the sort of the in-depth view of the invoice itself, you'll see a small drop-down menu that'll show you the currency. So if it's a case where you want to convert the invoice to euro, it's just a case of selecting the euro icon from the drop-down menu, and AutoEntry will automatically do the currency conversion for you. With regards to that, a good thing to keep in mind is that AutoEntry will revert back to the date the invoice was essentially sent or created in order to get the correct currency for the invoice date itself.
Great, thank you. Next question from Chris says, regarding Sage 50, are the PDF copies attached in the purchase ledger with Sage?
They are indeed, yes.
Perfect. Lots of questions still coming in. I'm going to try my best to fire these at Matt as quick as possible. So next question is, on the purchases rejected screen, is it good practice to delete items that you're not moving across to the inbox?
Again, I'd say it's personal preference. To be honest, AutoEntry will always store a record within the archive folder. So if it's a case you have a rejected item or a rejected invoice that you know you do not need, then I would recommend deleting it. But if you think the majority of the time, or 90% of the time, when you're processing or working through invoice within AutoEntry, you're going to be mainly in the inbox. So again, like I said, it's completely personal preference. But if you're like me, you like to keep everything nice and tidy, I would personally delete them from my AutoEntry account if I know I'm not going to be needing to use them in the future.
Amazing. Next question is, we have so many staff members using credit cards for expenses. Is there a way in AutoEntry that they could have access, and for them to submit and then allocate to the relevant bank account and get approval from line managers?
So unfortunately, in essence, yes, you can, because what you can do is create individual user accounts. So they have their own login, they have their own access to the expenses folder. Once they have submitted their expenses, or even take that step back, once they have categorized the expenses, allocated it to an expense report, and then submitted for approval, the approver or the line manager then will receive a notification saying X employee has submitted this expense. So once they then approve that expense report, once it processes to your purchases folder, there is an option that says mark as paid. So you can then show these expenses have been paid using X credit card for that employee. So yes, it can be done.
Amazing, thank you. Next question from Marcel. When a bill is forwarded by email into AutoEntry, can we see from what email address it was forwarded from?
Unfortunately not. So it will only show that it's been forwarded to the AutoEntry specific folder email address. It won't actually show the user's own personal email address in which it was forwarded from.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Next question from Joanne is, the upload bank statements included in the monthly fixed subscription we pay as accountants?
Unfortunately not. So the fixed price subscription only includes the upload of invoices. If you are looking to, for future, to upload bank statements as well, you would need to take out a monthly subscription. In relation to that, what I would suggest is having a think and seeing how many bank statements you will be uploading on a monthly basis to determine what subscription package suits you best.
Great, thanks, Matt. Next question, do you need a supplier account to submit expenses?
So no, not necessarily. So AutoEntry will automatically create essentially a supplier account for you, but it'll be listed on the drop-down menu as the person's name that has submitted the expense.
Okay, great. Next question from Mel, can you match purchase invoices to purchase orders?
You can indeed. So again, within the main view of the invoice, so once you've clicked into your purchase invoices inbox and you click the view icon, depending on the accounting package you're using, you'll be able to match a purchase order to a purchase invoice. So this is simply shown in a drop-down menu at the very top of the main view screen.
Great, thank you. Next question, can we get approval for invoices in AutoEntry?
Unfortunately not. There is no approval process for purchase invoices within AutoEntry. There is a slight workaround. What you could do if you're looking to implement an approval process, you can upload invoices to your file management folder, and whoever needs to give the yes or give the okay for invoices to be processed to your accounting software, they can then move them from your file management folder to your purchase invoices folder, where they can then be published to your accounting software.
Brilliant, thanks, Matt. Next question is from Darren. It says, does the system have any reporting functionality?
Unfortunately not, no. We don't offer any reporting functionality within AutoEntry. That'll be solely within your accounting software.
Okay, great. Next question is, are you planning to add the approvals function to the purchase invoices, please?
Yeah, it's a really good question. It's something that has been requested several times. Unfortunately, I can't give you a definitive answer. If it is a case where our development team are looking to add an approval process to the purchase invoices, all customers or all users of AutoEntry will be notified prior to it going live.
Okay, amazing. Next question is, can you run through your fee structure, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I said towards the start of the webinar, AutoEntry works on a credit or a monthly credit basis. So we have various different monthly subscription options available. Those subscriptions options or the subscription that you choose when the account simply depends on how many documents you look to upload and process on a monthly basis. So it's very similar to Netflix. You have a monthly subscription, which is paid on a monthly basis, obviously. To further clarify that, as I said, it works on a credit basis. So each credit allows you to upload a specific document. So for example, 1 credit allows you to upload a purchase or sales invoice. 2 credits allows you to upload a supplier statement, as well as capture individual line items on a purchase invoice. And then 3 credits allows you to upload a bank statement page. So as I said, with regards to what subscription option you choose, it's always good to have a think of, okay, how many documents would I look to be uploading or processing through AutoEntry on a weekly or monthly basis?
Brilliant, thanks. Next question is from Vicky. It says, when recording both sales and purchases invoices, is there a field where either can be assigned to a project/cost code?
Yep, really good question. So again, it's dependent on the accounting package you're using, but once you're in the main view of the invoice, similar to if you're selecting a purchase order or linking to a purchase order, you'll have the option to select a project reference code, cost code, and a department code from a drop-down menu.
Amazing, thank you. Next question is from Bruce. It says, what happens to an expense report that is rejected? Is it sent back to the submitter?
Yeah, really good question. It's what happens is the submitter will receive a notification stating that this expense report has been rejected. It will then give them the opportunity to amend that expense report. So for example, if an incorrect category has been selected or the receipt that is linked to that expense report is an incorrect receipt. So the submitter will always be notified if the expense report has been rejected.
Amazing, thank you. Next question is from Helen. It says, will it accept handwritten invoices from our Outwork people?
Yeah, again, really good question. It does indeed. So a sort of rule of thumb, if you can clearly read it, then AutoEntry will be able to extract the data or the contents from that specific handwritten receipt or invoice.
Amazing. Next question, very vital question. How do you ensure data security?
So AutoEntry works specifically and has a very in-depth and secure GDPR rule. This has been worked on since the creation of AutoEntry. So we always ensure that customers' data is fully secure as well. So we always ensure that for any finer details or more concise information, it can all be found directly on our AutoEntry website.
Amazing. Thanks, Matt. Next question is from Roy. It says, we currently use a program that allows us to send invoices to other users to approve. Does AutoEntry offer this feature?
Unfortunately not. So there isn't an approval process for invoices within AutoEntry as of yet. As I mentioned earlier, it has been requested, and if or when it becomes available within AutoEntry, all customers will be notified prior to that function going live.
Okay, great. Next question is from James. It says, what is the advantage of the bank account download when most software has direct bank feeds?
Yeah, really good question. From my personal experience, if you have clients that have integrated bank feeds with their accounting package, I would recommend using the integrated bank feed. If it were a case you were to use AutoEntry in cohesion with that, you'd simply be duplicating the workload. So the bank statements module within AutoEntry essentially caters for clients or customers that don't necessarily have an integrated bank feed. So they're still working with the so-called old-fashioned way, downloading transactions to an Excel spreadsheet. So that's where AutoEntry sort of bridges the gap for them.
Amazing, thank you. Next question is, can it read multiple invoices or do I have to load them individually?
Yeah, again, really good question. So no, you don't have to load them individually. So AutoEntry has a feature whereby you could upload 10, 20, 100, 200 invoices that are all from different suppliers. AutoEntry will automatically collate the multi-page invoices for you together, and it will also identify and separate individual supplier invoices for you. So again, really good rule of thumb. If it's a case you receive several invoices from a particular client, I would always recommend uploading them all at once, because AutoEntry will take that sort of management or the file management or the splitting out the invoices workload away from you.
Fantastic. Next question is from Matt that says, can suppliers email direct into AutoEntry inbox?
Yep, absolutely. Probably one of the best things to do in order to sort of automate and speed up the processing. So all you need to do is just hand your suppliers the folder specific email address. They can then send their invoices to that email address, which will then process across to your AutoEntry account.
Okay, great stuff. Loving these questions. Still lots to come. We'll try and get through as many as possible. Next one is from Douglas. It says, how does AutoEntry deal with invoices from suppliers with several line items and a mix of account codes and a mix of standard rate and zero rate VAT? Would I need to code individually each time?
Not each time. So what you, if you remember from the demonstration, we do have the remember function and the line item extraction function. So if it's a case where you do need a particular supplier invoice with the line items extracted, it's just a case of ticking the switch at the point of upload. AutoEntry will then extract those line items, which can then be coded individually. With the remember function, as I said in the product demonstration, you only need to code a particular invoice line item once. Once it's been coded and you click remember yes, so you've selected the correct nominal, the correct VAT code, AutoEntry will know this for next time when you upload that invoice from that supplier. So you upload a second invoice from the supplier, you've extracted the line items, AutoEntry remembers from the previous invoice and automatically pre-populates those fields for you.
Okay, amazing. Thank you. Next question is, document fetching fully functional or at a development phase? I'm asking because it doesn't work for suppliers like Amazon.
From what I've been aware, it's fully functional. I know we did have a few teething issues in the past. What I would say, if you're still experiencing issues with the document fetching feature, just simply drop a quick message to the guys in our support team. They'll be able to assist you in order to put a resolution in place.
Amazing. Next question is, can staff upload documents if the user with the desktop sync app is unavailable?
Yeah, absolutely. So a good sort of image to paint with regards to the desktop sync app, if you have 10 staff members in a business that are all using AutoEntry, the sync app only needs to be installed on one computer or where the data is held. So as long as that sync app is running in the background at where the data is held, then any staff member can actively use, upload, and process documents within your AutoEntry account.
Brilliant. Thanks, Matt. Next question is, when an invoice is rejected, do we still get charged for credits? Great question.
Yeah, really good question. Invoices are rejected if they don't meet the 3 verification checks. So three checks are: we check for duplicate invoices, we verify and check all the figures so they add up correctly, and we also ensure that the document you have uploaded is a genuine invoice, it's a genuine bank statement, it's a genuine expense, and so on and so forth. With regards to, are you charge credits? Yes, you are, unfortunately. So we charge credits at the point of upload. So if it's a case on the rare occasion you have made a mistake, you've uploaded a blank piece of paper when in fact it was meant to be an invoice, unfortunately you will still be charged a credit for that upload.
Amazing, thank you. Next question is, connecting to an external supplier as you showed, BT, do you have to manually check if an invoice is there each day?
You do. So again, what I say is a good rule of thumb is if you're using document fetching feature, once an invoice has been fetched, we will not send you a notification. So as I say to all my customers and clients that actively use AutoEntry and specifically the document fetching feature, I say just do it on a 2-day basis. Just check every couple of days, jump into the file management folder and ensure that if there are any invoices that have been retrieved using document fetching, just push them directly into your purchases folder as well. I'll also note, guys, if there's any sort of requests that you think will improve the product, what I will do is I will share the details to make development requests outside of this presentation as well.
Amazing, thanks, Matt. Next question is, can we obtain approvals via AutoEntry?
So again, the only approval process that we have is with the expenses. It's currently not available with purchase or sales invoices or bank statements, unfortunately. So it's solely just with expenses. Okay,
great, thanks. Next question is, can you code different lines to different normal codes?
So you can code individual line items or lines to one normal code. If it's a case where you are looking to code one line to multiple normal codes, you will have to split out that line item manually. So that can all be done within the main view of the invoice itself. So once you scroll down towards the bottom of the page of the invoice, you'll see that's an option that says add line items manually. You'll then just need to split out that specific line item to the relevant nominals and the relevant barcodes.
Okay, great. Thanks. Next question is, sometimes AutoEntry does not upload correctly the invoice and the only option is to reject that and re-upload. Are we still charged for that upload?
You will still be charged, but in the occasion where AutoEntry has made a mistake, as you mentioned there, what I would recommend is dropping a quick message to the guys in the support team. If it's a case where AutoEntry has made a mistake, they can reimburse the credit or the credits back onto the account for that particular matter.
Amazing, thank you. And speaking of credits, how do we check how many credits we have used each month?
Yep, really good question. So we do have a credit reporting function within AutoEntry. So this is available within the settings. So once you're in your AutoEntry account, on the left-hand side of the page, you'll see your settings tab. So once you click into settings, you'll have the option to view your current subscription and billing, and you'll also be able to review your usage, which can be broken down by specific dates, whether it be monthly, weekly, daily, and it's also broken down by individual company or companies that you add to your AutoEntry account as well.
Amazing. Thanks, Matt. Another great question just come in. What functionality is the development team currently working on? When are the development team ever resting? You guys are just always kind of working on the product, aren't you?
Unfortunately, that's not a question I can answer. The developments that are currently ongoing are, as to say, they are classified. We only find out when they are in the process of being potentially released. But as I said, any developments that are live or becoming live or will be active with AutoEntry, all customers will be notified in due course.
Amazing. Thanks, Matt. And visitors will be able to catch you guys at Accountex Summit Manchester on the 19th of September. So you'll be able to see the team face to face and see what's new, which is exciting. Another question just come in from Roy. Can you prevent a user from submitting purchase invoices to Sage in the user permissions?
Unfortunately, we cannot prevent them from publishing a document to your accounting software. So if you're looking to prevent them from having any access to the purchases folder, you can do that with an AutoEntry. So they only have the permissions to actually upload the documents. So it's just a case of ensuring that whoever's using the software itself knows the specific areas that they would look and control. So as I said, you can restrict them to viewing the documents, but unfortunately you can't restrict them from publishing.
Okay, amazing. I think we have time for one quick more question. What is the difference between AutoEntry and the free purchase automation?
Again, AutoEntry, it's at the top of the list with regards to the accuracy in which we extract the data. I know I've mentioned it previously, but the user interface, it's a very user-friendly software, I believe. But in my opinion, there's very little, if any, similar products that are able to offer the various different features, whether it be document fetching, but more so the accuracy in which the data is captured.
Amazing. Thanks, Matt. I think that's all we've got time for. Wow, what an amazing Q&A. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for all your questions. Matt, how can people reach you if they want to get in touch?
Yeah, absolutely. So my personal email address is matthew.goddard@autoentry.com. So any questions that or queries you may have outside of this webinar, please feel free to get in touch with me. We can also be contacted directly through the AutoEntry website as well, which is just autoentry.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Matt. Well, what a fantastic, incredible session. So in depth and well delivered by Matt. I'm sure he's going to get a cup of tea now and relax after that Q&A. But yes, do get in touch with Matt and the team if you have any further questions. Thank you so much to AutoEntry for sponsoring this demo day. We're going to be back at 4 o'clock for the next session. I'm Rachel from Accountex, and I'd love to thank you all for joining us. And we'll see you at 4 o'clock for the final Accountex demo day session. And a massive thank you to Matt for delivering such a great session today. Thank you, everyone. See you at 4 o'clock.
Thanks, everyone.